Weird News Weekly with Ben and Reid.
Reid, I've found a list of foods that are really common, stuff that you'd find usually at the supermarket. Some not so common, but most of them are pretty common foods that you'd find at the supermarket every single day. But some of these foods are banned, considered illegal in certain countries for some reason. And it's really strange. Like, first off, straight off the bat, poppy seeds. Why would you think that they'd be illegal?
Poppy seeds?
Yeah.
Because they look really ugly when they're in your teeth?
In some countries, poppy seeds are actually considered illegal.
Illegal?
Yeah.
Illegal?
So, in Singapore, Taiwan, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, poppy seeds are considered illegal. Now, the reason why is because poppy seeds are considered prohibited goods by Singapore's Central Narcotics Bureau, and while Saudi Arabia also deems them as, or bans them for religious views. So, I don't know what comes into play as far as, poppy seeds, no, they're against my religion.
I mean, you can't smoke them or anything. I mean, religious reasons.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, obviously those four countries, Singapore, Taiwan, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, poppy seeds, illegal, legal in the rest of the world. Weird. We move on to the next one, which is jelly cups.
Really?
Jelly cups are illegal in Europe, legal in Japan, Taiwan, and the Far East. These ones are a different kind of jelly cup, though. It's a cognac jelly cup. So I guess the cognac is an alcohol of some sort, but they're banned in the UK because their slippery texture presents a choking hazard.
Oh.
So I'm guessing it's the kind of more of a jelly shot kind of thing that they're banned, and people are kind of doing the whole, and it's just going in their throat kind of thing.
So teen frat houses are the reason for that.
Yeah. Raw milk is the next one. Illegal in the USA, Canada, Scotland, and Australia. Legal in England, Wales, Africa, Asia, Europe, and New Zealand. Now, obvious reasons for this one here in Australia and other places like US, Canada, and Scotland. We see that as untreated milk that is not safe for human consumption. But a lot of other places, they're totally fine with that. And, you know, each to their own, I guess. But I don't know. I don't think I'd be drinking any untreated milk anytime soon.
No, because this was a massive story earlier this year, actually, where there was a little kid who actually died because his parents gave him some raw milk.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good reason not to have it. It will kill little children, apparently.
There you go. Well, the next one is samosas. Do you know what samosas are, Reid?
I'd like to say yes, but I have heard that word before, samosa.
I think they're like Indian food, and it's like a little kind of triangle pastry thing that's like filled with all like spicy goodness in the middle. Yeah. Now, these are illegal in Somalia, but legal around the rest of the world. Now, it says here, over in Somalia, they believe the three-pointed triangular shape represents the Christian Holy Trinity, and Al-Shabaab, the Islamic extremist group which controls parts of Somalia, banned samosas in 2011. So if you are seen eating a samosa, you could go to jail, or worse, possibly even be executed.
Could you imagine how that arrest would go down in the local street? I'm just having a samosa. You're arrested. I've been got to court.
The next one here is haggis. Of course, a Scottish cuisine. This one's actually banned in the USA, but legal around the rest of the world. And the reason for this one, a 1971 ban on importing products containing sheep lung makes the importation of haggis illegal in the US. But there's good news for people in the US who would like to have some haggis. New rules set to be finalised this year hope to lift the 45-year ban. So you never know. In the US sometime soon, you could be able to get some imported haggis.
I'm sure, judging by their waistlines, they're not too worried about the haggis.
Next on the list, we have chewing gum, which is illegal in Singapore, but still legal around the rest of the world. Now, with the exception of therapeutic nicotine or dental gum, Singapore banned the import of chewing gum back in 1992 after mess left by chewers became an expensive national maintenance problem. So too many people were chewing on their chewing gum and just going whoop, and just spitting it all over the ground everywhere, and they were having trouble cleaning up all the chewing gum that was left everywhere all the time. So they were just like, hey, let's just ban it, and then we can't have this problem anymore. So if you're going to Singapore anytime soon, don't take any chewing gum with you because it'll probably get confiscated from you as you go through customs, I'd say.
So everyone will have coffee breath forever.
Yeah. The next one is horse meat. This is illegal in the states of California and Illinois over in the US, but still legal around the rest of the world. Now, this is something that was rendered illegal over in certain parts of the US because of the same reason of kangaroo meat. It's shaky humanitarian grounds, and they don't necessarily like eating certain kinds of meat in those areas.
I can understand that.
And funnily enough, the next one on the list here is kangaroo meat, which is illegal also in California because of shaky humanitarian grounds, and they don't like eating certain meats, but it's still legal around the rest of the world. Now, Reid, when you look at this list so far, is there any kind of, theme going on here that you can kind of follow along with to maybe guess the last one on the list here?
A lot of animal products you've sort of been mentioning so far, haven't you? So some form of animal, I reckon, might be the last one on the list.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
Here is the last one on this list. The Kinder Surprise egg. These are actually illegal across the whole USA.
What?
Yeah. The Kinder Surprise is illegal across the whole of the United States of America because it contains, quote, a non-nutritive object which contravenes the 1938 Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. Because apparently the Kinder Surprise is the reason for all their obesity over there. So they thought, hey, we'll just eradicate that altogether, then everyone will be skinny. They won't be eating chocolate, won't be making toys. They'll just be, all happy and honky-dory.
I would have thought it might have been the little toy inside the Kinder Surprise. Might be dangerous for human consumption if little kiddies get that in their mouths. But,
well, I'm guessing that is kind of what they're going with the non-nutritive object. It's just something in the middle of your food and they're just like, nope, can't have that. It's not safe for human consumption. That's because it's not supposed to be eaten, guys. It's the prize inside. It's like when you get something in the bottom of your Lucky Charms box in your cereal, like you can get everywhere in the US.
I'm American. This doesn't look right, but I'm going to eat it anyway.
And what makes things worse as far as this is concerned, like the example that I just gave you where they get prizes in their bags of cereal over there, right? So this is a little surprise inside of a chocolate egg. And that's just inside of the chocolate egg in a little capsule that is probably very hard to actually consume. I'd say there'd be very few cases where people have actually tried to eat the capsule and the toy inside. But the difference is you actually get a box of cereal that has the bag inside with the cereal in it. Inside that bag with the cereal is a toy. So if you pour that out into your bowl and just cover it in milk and don't realize that toy's there, you could actually choke on the toy. But yet the Kinder Surprise is the one that they're worried about.
Logic.
It makes so much sense. That's basically all we have to say about those products right there. So if you'd like to give us your thoughts on this whole situation, leave us a voicemail via the Tumblr page, weirdnewsweekly.tumblr.com. You'll also find all the story details right there, as well as on Twitter as well, at Weird News Weekly on Twitter.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to rate and review the show on iTunes and follow on Twitter and Tumblr for more details on the covered stories. Just search Weird News Weekly. You can also be part of the show and give us your opinions on a story by sending a voicemail via the SpeakPipe app, or just click the voicemail link on the Tumblr page. Spoken by Sarah D and sped up like this because we like the way it sounds on the government ads.
Okay, in 3. Apparently didn't want me to start just yet.